Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Swyte, and today I'm going to be doing another informational item showcase type video. This time I'm going to be showing off multiple items instead of just the one that I did in the last video of this type, which was on the frog gear. Anyways, let's go down into my little fishing hut here, where we have this sandstone chest. And all the items that I'm going to show you guys today are items that can be found in the underground desert inside of these sandstone chests, which will sometimes spawn on just the sand, or more commonly they'll be in the underground rooms. And I decided to make this video because the items are all pretty dang cool, and as well they're all new items that were brought into the game in the 1.4 update. So I wanted to show you what they did, and maybe you'll learn about some new items, or maybe just didn't know about any of them at all, so you'll know about them now. Another way that you can get all the items that I'm going to show you is by fishing. If you fish in an oasis mini biome, like the one that I'm in currently, you have a chance to fish up oasis crates. Every one of these that you get, you are guaranteed to get one of the items. It's random which one, but you can get these items on any world that you're playing in. If you run out of chests in the underground desert and don't get them all, you can come and fish. It just might take a while because the crates are fairly uncommon. But hey, I fish for a lot of these items anyways because I'm a tryhard like that. And that's not even tryharding, that's just too much fishing. That's what that is. Regardless of all that, let's get into this. Let's open up this sandstone chest. We have all these items here, and I'm going to go through them one by one, tell you what they all do, what they are, and showcase them if they're items that need, showing off. But first of all, we're going to get into the Bast statue, and I think this is actually a pretty nice item. So we have the Bast statue. You can't see me up here. Man, the lighting is not good. But it's a cat statue. It is modeled after Bast. As you can see right here, this is the Bast statue, and when you are near it, you gain 5 defense. And I see this as actually being quite helpful because you get it in the early game, or you're meant to. Zombie, can you? Oh my god, there's another one too. Okay, but you can put these in your main boss fighting arenas and fight bosses in them with the Bast statue, and it'll basically act kind of like, just imagine you had a warding shackle on top of all of your other items that you have, just free warding shackle. That's kind of what the Bast statue does, and that's kind of significant at this point in the game where you really don't have that much defense. So I think that this is a good item for early game bosses, and it does add another item to the list of ones that have effects when you stand near them, and there aren't too many of those, I don't think. I mean, there's the campfire, there's the heart lantern. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more, but I'm just bad and I don't remember them right off the top of my head. But yeah, for sure, I think that this is really awesome. I think it's a cool item. I'm definitely going to use it in my boss fights. In fact, I think I already have multiple of them. Yeah, I have 2 set up in my boss arena currently, so we'll be using those. Man, these zombies are a pain in the butt. Anyways, let's break this, put this back into the chest, and move on to our next item. We have the Snake Charmer's Flute, which summons rope snakes. So let's put this right here. Well, boys, there's just zombies coming from all sides, so give me just a second. Let me fast forward to daytime where I won't be bothered by all these scrubs at my door. Yeah, so I can just do this uninterrupted. I shall be right back. Okay, no more undead miscreants will be bothering us, with this video. Let's continue on and show off the Snake Charmer's Flute. And I found this in the underground desert, and I thought that it was just really cool. I'm just cutting down these trees so you guys can see what it does a little bit better. We can plant these won't hinder me very much. So we have the Snake Charmer's Flute. It says it creates rope snakes, or summons rope snakes, and it literally means that. So let's just do this. Oh, there we go. And as you can see, it summons a rope snake, and you can just climb up this snake. And I think it just goes away after a while, but this thing goes really far. That's kind of crazy. It'll go down to the deepest that it can over the area that you've pointed at, and then it'll create a big old rope. So I can see this being very practical while exploring underground. Although I have a double jump and everything already, so I don't need it. But if you can't get this early game, it's pretty nice. And I think this is an awesome idea. This one is kind of self-explanatory. It's a fishing rod. It's a scarab fishing rod, and it's pretty decent. Early game, it is better than the corruption and crimson fishing rods. So if you get this, you're just better at catching fish. I personally do like it because I like having the most powerful rod that I can, and I like having more early game options for fishing rods. Although 25% fishing power compared to the 22% of the evil biome fishing poles rods isn't very much, but it's still an increase, and I'll take it. So, scarab fishing rod. Back to our chest. Let us see. I think we're gonna save the weapons for last, to be honest. And I want to take a look at the magic conch right now. And this is probably the most helpful of the items. It's one of the two most helpful, in my opinion. So, it says, if you listen closely, you can hear the ocean. And that doesn't really tell you anything about it at first glance, but when you use this item, you will cast it, and you will teleport to the other side of the map. And it depends on if you're more on the right side or more on the left side. Oh shoot, hold on, there's an Eater Souls here. But if you're more on the left side of the world, it will teleport you to the right ocean. And if you're on the right side of the world, or more on the right side of the world, it will teleport you to the left side of the ocean. And to me, this is just incredibly helpful to get to like just the jungle faster, since I can just run across this corruption over here, go to the jungle, or you know, I don't actually have the ocean pylon over here, but I had to put the angler, or I just wanted to put the angler over here because this is where he's happy, by the ocean. And it's such a huge time saver. It's one of my favorite additions to the game so far that I've seen. And honestly, I think it'd probably be worth fishing for if you can't find it in the underground desert, just seeing how much time it saves if you don't have the ocean pylon at the very least. Coming back over to our sandstone chest, we have the Dune Rider boots, and this is the first accessory. It says walk without rhythm and you won't attract the worm. It is a variant of Hermes boots, so I'm pretty sure the only thing that they do is act as Hermes boots, but you can run very quickly on sand. And I didn't think that it would be that great, but then I realized that you can actually use this for arenas, because I believe it works on sandstone and other types of sand like that as well. And you'd be much quicker than probably anything else that you could get at this stage in the game using these Dune Rider boots. So I think that these actually have some pretty good applications, and I may dive into them later on, I'm not sure. As well, you can turn them into Spectre boots and then up to Lightning boots and blah blah blah, but it's probably not the greatest idea to do that. You can just use one of the other boots that doesn't have the special ability to run faster on sand, because it does lose that if you combine it into Spectre boots, which is a shame, but I mean, it's understandable. You can't just have one variant of Spectre boots being better than all the rest, you know? Now, our third to last item is the Ancient Chisel, and this is one of my favorite items that we have from here, and one of my favorite items in the 1.4 update, along with the Magic Conch, because this gives you increased mining speed. It gives you 25% increased mining speed. Ancient problems require ancient solutions. And I mean, clearly what it does, it lets you mine quicker. So, you know, here's some basic mining speed. It's alright, you know, but then you put on the chisel and all of a sudden you mine a fair bit faster. Like, this is significant. It's basically just a free mining potion, and you can stack a mining potion on top of it. So it's even better. And this is just amazing, at least early game when you can't really mine very fast. It just feels so good, and it's so helpful for removing items that are blocking your way, or it can be helpful for building as well, just getting stuff, as I just said, out of the way quicker, or removing things that you've already placed down. I just think it's a really amazing item, and I'm really glad that they added this. It's just so convenient. It's kind of like a quality of life item, honestly. At some point it becomes not very important regardless, because you're just gonna have a very strong pickaxe. You can just melt blocks easily anyways. But the Ancient Chisel does help you with that early game, and I find that it is such a nice item. But yeah, that's the Ancient Chisel, so I definitely recommend trying to get that if you're planning on doing any, oh my god, planning to do any extended underground exploring, because this is very nice. For our last two items, let me just grab both of them. We have the Storm Spear. These are both weapons as well. And the Thunder Zapper. So the Storm Spear does 12 melee damage, and the Zapper does 14 magic damage. And let me just show you what each of these do, because they're pretty dang cool. So we have the Storm Spear. It is a spear weapon. Oh, we can actually try it on these vultures right here. Come here, guys. So yeah, as you can see, you do get a little projectile, and it's kind of like the Ice Blade in the sense that it's not an amazing weapon by any means. But if you found this at the beginning of the game, it would be so helpful, because at least it would be helpful if you're playing a melee class, because having a projectile is so important. True melee is not something that really works out very well, and also you can just like stack the damage if you hit it with both the physical hitbox and the projectile. But I think this is a really useful item early game, and it's also just really cool, you know? It's a spear that shoots out lightning when you use it. Let's get into the Thunder Zapper next, and I think this one's actually kind of good. I don't think it's that much greater than the Storm Spear. I don't know if I'd be really using it at this point in the game that I'm at, which is post Eater of Worlds in this world, but let me just show you what it does. It is quick firing, it uses a fair bit of mana, so I'm not sure how good this weapon is, but I think that it could be pretty practical to use, honestly, and I kind of want to actually try it in this video. I want to see how it does versus maybe the Eye of Cthulhu I could try. I think that would be a fair test, so I want to actually go and do that. Let me see if I actually have a suspicious looking eye first of all, and then I'm going to grab my magic set, and we will try this out. Okay, and we got the Eye of Cthulhu. Yeah, that is totally possible, even without some of the items that I have, like the, the pink horseshoe balloon and the menacing Shield of Cthulhu. I can't speak right now. I think this is actually a pretty decent early game magic item, and could be used for some early bosses. It's kind of almost comparable to a mini shark. Does a little bit more damage, but fires slower. I think that's a pretty decent comparison. So yeah, that is the last of the items though. I hope that you learned some stuff and you did enjoy it. But that is going to be all for me today. Regrettably, it is time to end the video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please leave a like down below. Consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one.